especially in the good weather, and get out and exercise and work it off, get away from the tube, get away from the computer for part of the day at least, so they can be out there exercising, because they're rotting their body with their brain as well. That's my commentary.
you hit the nail on the head, and nothing better for the body but to clean it out. If you're talking about a body that's basically sitting all day.
Yeah, Tom, we got a break right now, though. Hang on. We'll come right back to that body in just 3 minutes, folks. You stay with us. Much more to come. Stay with me. Rick Adams on Central. Okay, folks. We're back now with Thomas James and HempUSA.org. We left off before the break, Thomas, talking about the sedimentary lifestyle that most of the people have today in America, I would say, especially young people that we never had when I know we were growing up. We were always active, especially after school, and not only in school, in gymnasium class, but outside. In the summer, we couldn't wait to get out and run around, and we'd be out in the streets. We wouldn't be watching TV. We wouldn't be at the computer because there was no computer. You know, there was none of this stuff.
Yep, and it's a really different lifestyle now. I find myself becoming sedentary also. Less movement because we're letting the computers control our lives.
That's right.
And it's amazing. Listen, we do have people online taking orders. Can I give that phone number?
So yes, give it now. Please do now. Yeah. We'll give it a couple of more times, too.
Yeah, if anybody on the earth, okay, I know this particular radio show goes all over the world. People love listening to Rick Adams, and we always do well when we're on your show. People call us, and they love when we're on together. So I'm glad that we're being able to educate America and the rest of the world about this wonderful detoxifying product, microplant powder, and all the other hemp products we have. If anybody wants to order or call for information, they can call 908-691-2608. Again, that's 908-691-2608. And remember, the microplant powder is incredible for removal of chemtrail chemicals from the air. I don't know, do you remember the bill that was passed, H.R. Bill 2977?
It rings a bell, yes. Yes, what was it about?
It was about the chemtrails. They call it tracers, aerosol, pharmacopoeia, and seeding.
Yeah.
We have an article on our website about it. I highly recommend people going there to educate themselves at HempUSA.org. The other words for chemtrails is geoengineering, terraforming, aerosols, advanced cloud seeding, and massive ionic spheric weather adjustments. Microplant powder can remove these chemicals that are in the air, that are landing in everyone's upper respiratory system. If people are really wondering why they've been under the weather for many years and why they have issues with their upper respiratory and they find themselves buying pharmaceuticals, please look at our microplant powder with Lactobacillus acidophilus. It will change your life. It really will, if you want to pull toxins out of the body.
Yeah. Now, one of the things that is essential, I assume, in the microplant powder is the silicon nature of it. Is that true?
Absolutely. We are so deficient in silica because if it's not found in the soil, it's not going to be in our fruits and vegetables. It's just plain and simple. So it's got to be put in from the outside, and it is something that we should take every day. I have people with heart trouble, people with upper respiratory, people with breathing issues will love microplant powder. It helps the whole upper respiratory. It cleans the arterial walls. It softens the heart valves. It puts silica back in the body, which means if women are concerned about small lines and wrinkles, it will pump up the silica, pump up the collagen in the skin, and it makes the skin beautiful. And this is what we get back from countless emails and people around the world, that they've seen a difference in their skin, their hair, and their nails in a very short period of time.
Now, it also tells us that it's gluten-free. Why is that important, Tom?
Well, gluten-free. Gluten impairs the body to absorb nutrients, and a lot of your foods today have large amounts of gluten, and it does affect about 20 to 30% of the population.
Yeah.
Gluten kind of just stops everything from working, and it coats the cells, so the cells can't receive things that they normally would receive. So gluten-free is extremely important, but also it's anti-inflammatory that I really think is important. Most people today that you say are overweight or they're holding water in their cells, it's called inflammation.
Mm-hmm.
They're inflamed. People are dying of heart attacks because of inflammation.
Mm-hmm.
The doctors are not defining the real cause of the problem, but inflammation. It's because people are putting so many foreign chemicals in their body. They need to get back to natural food like we carry at HempUSA.org. We carry natural, 100% naturally grown food with no addition, with no colorings, with no preservatives. Okay?
No GMOs here, that's for sure.
Absolutely not. Nothing that's genetically modified. We want our customers to be happy and feel the difference with this food. And that's how we've grown our business in the last 5 years, Rick. It's been really incredible. By the way, we're opening 2 other locations. So we're going to be shipping from the East Coast, from the central part of the United States, and Southern California. So we're going to get
great.
Food. Yes. And I want to let you know that God's blessed us to the point where we're going to have 3 locations, and we're going to be able to get the food to the people faster. And I think that's very important for people that are storing food and people that eat it on a daily basis.
Yeah, and I'm very glad that you have given God the glory here, because it has been an inspiration to you from the beginning to get into this field. You've told us that many times.
Oh, yes. We're definitely a Christian organization. We preach the gospel online. If people order $95 or more, they get a free book. And just if they ever order, always ask for the free book. We'll be giving Bibles away shortly as soon as they're printed. And it's just something that I want to do.
Good. All right. Stay where you are, Thomas. We have another break, and we will come right back, folks, with more of this program. Much more to come, the second hour, too. Folks, yes, Rick Adams, Uncensored, here on Republic Broadcasting Network. Thanks to fine people like Thomas James, we were able to bring this interview to people, and I can say right now that it has been something that, as you know, Tom, I've been on for a long time, and it's a wonderful product. You know, it's been endorsed by other people. Dr. K, who comes on regularly, says the hemp seed oil, the hemp products, they're all great. They're good for the body. They're natural. They're wonderful. And that's why people like you and Dr. K and others, you know, who are doing this wonderful work are so successful in opening the eyes of people. People that need, unfortunately, to wake up the hard way. Too often, people wait up until they're almost dead. And they've gone to the doctors, and the doctors are talking to the undertakers already, trying to get them in. And you know what? In many cases, it's all avoidable. I would say in 95% of the cases, it could have been prevented. And I know the doctors don't want to hear that. The surgeons particularly, the chemotherapy doctors, they don't want to hear this, and for a good reason. But you know what? They're going to hear it. More and more people now are waking up that they need to take care of themselves, particularly with this Obamacare disaster that's coming. Horrible, horrible things are coming.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
We need to prepare for it. Right, Thomas?
Absolutely. I think, Rick, since we've been on about a half hour, why don't we let the people know that if they call 908-691-2608, we have live support. We'll take your order. And live support. Oh,
you've got that now, huh? You have live support right now if they call?
Exactly. It's on the web at HempUSA.org. They'll answer your phone, answer any questions you have. If the lines are busy, which a lot of times they are, you can leave a message. They will call right back. They're very good. And we get the orders out, if it's during the day, within 8 hours, which is pretty amazing.
That's fast, very fast.
It is. Everything is shipped to Southern California at this time. The other thing is we're noticing that the hemp products, when we order from the farmers, takes quite a while to get. So I keep 3 orders always behind each other because it's been taking 6 to 8 weeks to get our hemp powder. It's very hard to get. Yeah, it's very popular, very hard to get. So if people are thinking about storing it, it's a wonderful storable food. I would highly recommend it now. Store it, buy it in 25-pound containers. We sell hundreds of them. Buy it in 5-pound containers. And we have a new 10-pound container in our hemp protein powder, which is a very big seller. And you save a lot of money when you buy it from the 1 pound to the 5 pound to the 10 pound, okay?
Mm-hmm. So also, when you were on previous times, we were beginning to get heavily into the survival mode, and you were talking about how people can survive on the hemp seeds, on the hemp seed oils and things like that, the protein in it, right?
Absolutely. See, if you take the hemp seeds, okay, ours are non-viable. For them to be shipped over the border, I want to let the audience know that's listening now, the seeds are non-viable, which means they will not sprout or grow. We do not do anything harmful to the seed to do that. What we do is we very lightly, at a very low temperature, roast them for a period of time. And it will actually affect it to the point where it will not produce another plant. But there is absolutely no loss of nutritional or enzyme value. So if you put a handful of seeds in your hand, believe it or not, and you eat them, it will give the body all the nutrients it needs for a 24-hour period.
That's great.
And I don't know of another food, Rick, that will do that. Okay, so now break it down with oil, break it down with the ground powder, which is up to 52% protein. It's just an amazing food. This food can be stored up to 10 or 15 years if
That's
you...
what I was going to ask you. All right.
Yes.
Up to 10 to 15 years. Now, what about conditions in the storage facility? What about temperatures affecting it?
Well, most people are going to store the food underground, so it's going to be at around 50, 55 degrees. That's a fine temperature for this. You don't have to freeze it. If you keep it in a cool, dark, dry place, the hemp protein powder, the seeds will store incredibly if they're vacuum packaged. If they're not, we've had people tell us up to 3 years. We've never had an issue with it in a cool, dark, dry place. So it really stores very well. The hemp seed oil is the least to go rancid of any oil, and it is not processed. It is not hydrogenated. And it's incredibly long life in the freezer will actually be astonishing to you. So you can try to freeze our hemp oil. It won't freeze. It'll just get a little thicker, but it will last indefinitely in the freezer, Rick. Isn't that something?
Yeah. How about on the shelf now? On the shelf, even in the summer?
They say up to a year if you just leave it out, but I recommend once you open the hemp oil, put it in a refrigerator at least. You know?
All right. Good point.
Cool.
Good point.
Yeah.
Now, another thing I want to ask about the product and the microplant product as well is what about the vitamin? You know, you alluded to the vitamin K, vitamin Bs, and so forth. Should this product, any of these products, be a good substitute for all of the man-made synthetic vitamins today?
Oh, there's no doubt about it that the hemp protein powder, I tell people you could live on the protein powder with water if you had to. Worst case scenario, if you had a 25-pound powder of hemp, which a lot of people are buying now, we're almost sold out of them, you could literally take it with you and live off it for about 14 months, one person.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah, if we had no food, I'll tell you what, I'll take the hemp powder with water. If worst case scenario, if we needed that to live on, we could do it. And the body would be healthy because you'd have all the amino acids, all the essential fatty acids, all the major minerals that the body needs to function, because, you know, it's such a large amount of magnesium found in this food that keeps the heart alive with 360 different processes.
Right.
I mean, we really have to look at food now. We're not getting magnesium. We're not getting potassium in our packaged foods.
No, not at all.
I dare everybody to look at the ingredients of what they're eating before you put any food in your mouth.
Well, you know,
Folks,
that's true.
Look at what you're eating. Am I right, Rick?
Yes, you are right. And, you know, I've learned over the last year or so to be very, very wary of vitamins. I've been very wary about, I'm talking about vitamin supplements because we're
get it
finding...
from your natural foods. Get it from natural foods.
Right, exactly. They're in nature. They're in the foods that you and others offer. But when you go to a drugstore or you go to a vitamin shop, you find it's not the vitamins you were buying 15, 20, 25 years ago. Now you're buying diluted. You're buying stuff that's compromised. And they're lab-made. They're manufactured in the lab. Yeah.
Exactly. Everything
and not
that's a
necessarily
copy.
going to do you much good.